Hey everyone, Miss Lassiter here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can use YouTube to prepare for your exams, whether that's AP exams, college finals, or whatever exam you're taking. YouTube is an awesome resource for everything that you might want to learn. You have access to amazing teachers, official programs and companies that are actually putting on the test, and all of that is for free and at your disposal. So how can you get started using YouTube to cram for your final or exam? Today I'm going to be going through some examples about how you can use YouTube to review for AP exams, because that's my subject that I currently teach right now, but you really could take these tips and apply them to any sort of exam you're prepping for. Yes, YouTube can be a rabbit hole for distraction, but it's also an amazing resource for learning. So as you're starting to use YouTube to review, you may know a few channels or have just used Google search and ended up on YouTube to answer a question or something that you're trying to study for. Sometimes you might search in the YouTube search bar for something you want to learn. For example, cellular respiration. The problem with that is that there's so many different levels of understanding of cellular respiration. You may be learning about cellular respiration for the first time in high school biology, or you may be wanting to learn about it for the AP Bio exam, or you're studying for the MCAT and prepping for medical school and you want to learn it at that level. There's even videos on YouTube that explain cellular respiration for the level of a PhD student. So knowing that, where do you even start by finding the right videos that'll be helpful for you to review for your test and your exam? Well, you could start watching a bunch of videos and waste your time. You could search through channels that you know and are familiar with, or you could search using specific search terms. Something I really do recommend when you're looking for videos for your course is to search with a particular search term in mind. So for example, cellular respiration, AP biology. That way you know that the content is going to be related to what you're actually going to have on your exam. Otherwise, there's a whole lot of cellular respiration videos out there that may not pertain to you. Of course, there's a lot of super popular channels out there, Bozeman, Khan Academy, Crash Course, and all of these can be good, especially if you're studying for AP Biology, for example, but some of the videos are not up to date or recent enough to correlate with the current course and exam description. So what you want to do is make sure you check the date that the video was published and make sure it actually correlates to the exam content that you're reviewing for. This is really important, especially with AP exams, because they change up the course and exam descriptions, and they've done this a lot, especially over the past few years. So make sure you double check that the content you're actually studying is going to be on the exam by looking at the date. Let's say you have found a video that you think might be good for your exam review. Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is check the description to see what the video is about and to see if there's any important tags or terms that you might need to know. Now, the description won't have everything that's in the video, so the other thing you can do is click these three little dots, open the transcript of the video. In that transcript, it'll show you timestamps and exactly what is happening in the video when. You can also Control F this particular transcript to see if the video is going to mention something you know you need to study. So for example, in this population math video, I want to know if it's going to talk to me about carrying capacity, because that is something that I need to study. Well, it does look like it pops up several times within this video, and we can even go to that point within the video here, and it'll take us to that point in the video for us to learn about that topic. Now this is really useful, and you can also get rid of the timestamps if you just want to read through the content here and do a quick skim of what's going to be in this video. This is a great time-saving tool, especially if you're trying to find videos fast that you need to learn from. Now, the other thing that you might have seen me do just now is exit theater mode. And theater mode is a great way to avoid some of those distractions that are on the side. So by entering theater mode, what I can do is eliminate some of those side distractions and things that might have taken my attention away from the video. Now I can focus my entire screen, my entire viewing portion on the video. The fewer distractions to have, the more focused you're going to be during your study session. Another thing I like to do, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about this before, is I watch my videos on 2x speed. A lot of times this is helpful for me because I can understand the content when spoken quickly. This is not a strategy that works for everybody though. But if you're cramming for exams, you may want to speed up that content so that you can take in more information in the limited time that you have.
Make sure once you've gotten all your values, you know you're not done until you've totaled all of them up together to get the sum.
Now let's say there's a topic that you really didn't understand, you watched the video already, should you go back and watch it again? The short answer is no. Rewatching the same content or rereading the same content over and over is not a great study strategy. Yes, you should space out your study sessions and review content that you've already seen before. In fact, that's a really good study strategy, is spaced practice. But rewatching a video isn't practice. So what you shouldn't do is go back and rewatch videos as part of your study plan, especially if it's videos you've already seen before. Take your notes or whatever content is related to your videos and then practice it in some way. So if, for example, if I took notes on this artificial selection video, I should go back maybe a week later, review what the notes were, and if there's a section of it I really don't understand, then I can go back and watch that section of the video. But rewatching an entire video that you've already seen is actually a waste of your time as far as learning goes. You're not going to be forming new connections in your brain of the content, and you're not actually applying it actively. What we do want to do, though, is come back to our notes or make flashcards or do practice questions with some of the content that we've already seen. So what I would recommend you doing is if you're using videos as part of your study plan, you start with a video, review the content, a few days later you go do practice questions on that same type of content, and then a few days later, maybe the next week, you do some flashcards or you do another set of practice questions. All this time your brain is making connections and waiting the appropriate period of time for you to store that information long term. You can also do practice questions first, and then for the content that you get wrong in those practice questions, go back to YouTube and find explainer videos for the things that you got wrong. After you're done with that, a few days later, do more practice questions on the same content, and hopefully what that'll do is help you relearn the information and solidify it in your brain. Now, I do really recommend taking notes, especially handwritten notes, while you watch videos. This is going to help you understand the content, and it'll be a great resource for you to go back to review. However, if you are somebody who does like to take notes on the computer, one of the best ways to do that, there's actually a great Google Chrome extension that you can add to your computer, and I'll show it to you here. This is actually created by Google, and I'll put the link in the description of this video if you want to add it to your own screen. But what it allows you to do is to basically browse any website at all while you still have your video playing in the corner. So you may say, okay, what's so great about this? Well, when I go to my Google Docs, I can move this picture around and put it wherever I want. This is a great Chrome extension to have, and it'll help you by taking notes. If you're watching videos that are mostly explainer ones, like the one I'm giving to you right now, and you can deal without using the visuals from those videos, is that you can take your phone and open the YouTube app and listen to these videos while you're on the go. Now, multitasking isn't a great way to learn, but if you're doing something such as walking or running or gardening or cleaning, all of these things will allow you to focus on the content that you're listening to. This is just a way to get some extra study time in using YouTube. So go ahead and open up the mobile app. Now, if you don't have a paid subscription to YouTube, a lot of times that means you can't minimize the window on an iPhone, so you'll have to keep your phone running, and it does drain a little bit of your battery. But I do this all the time. When I'm on walks or in the car, what I'll do is I'll have my YouTube mobile app open, I'll turn my phone over so I'm not watching the video while I'm driving, but then my Bluetooth will cast to my car speakers and I can hear a YouTube video just fine while I'm in the car. If you're on a long road trip, you can create a playlist, for example, which brings me to my next tip, is to create a study playlist with videos that you want to watch. Now, you can create a playlist with anybody's videos, not just your own, and accumulate resources that you find helpful or that your friends have found helpful. So talk to people you know and see what channels they recommend or resources that you feel like could be really beneficial as part of your study plan. And then when you find a video you want to save, you can create a new playlist and you can make it private or public if you want to share it with your friends and add videos to it. And it'll be really easy to go back and review. Last tip is to make sure that you're looking for videos that offer practice problems or ways that you can pause the video and actually actively engage with the content while you're watching. If you're sitting at home on your computer and you're studying that way, doing practice problems is absolutely the #1 best way you can study for an exam. Find ways that you can interact with these videos by either doing practice problems that are presented to you in the video or by going back and doing practice problems on the same topic later. You can find practice problems like this in a lot of different videos, mine included. I wouldn't recommend watching videos with subtitles on unless it's something you really need to slow down and see the vocabulary words for. Subtitles actually can offer another distraction while you're reading because you're taking in that visual information and also watching the images on the screen and trying to listen to the content. That's a lot of different cognitive pathways, and you're actually going to be overloaded with information that way. So do yourself a favor and turn the subtitles off unless you're an English language learner or someone who's just learning the vocabulary for the first time. What other YouTube study strategies do you have? Are there things that I didn't mention in this video that you found helpful as far as cramming and studying for exam? Add your ideas in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If this video has been helpful, make sure you give it a like and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my tips and tricks on learning science or doing well on exams. I'm Miss Lassiter, and I'll see you later.